What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today I thought I would talk about microphones. From the very first I bought this Vid Pro boom mic to the most recent Behringer lavalier mics and everything in between. So, let's get to it. Hey, John Brooks here, aspiring filmmaker and owner of Canis Lupus Productions, a studio I am opening up in North Houston, Humble, Texas, where I'm going to invite content creators and filmmakers to come in and create art. Today I want to talk about microphones. Not an expert, but I can just tell you what I went through on purchasing for my first, like I said, the Vid Pro boom mic. Came in this handy dandy case. This was a good deal. I don't know if they still sell them, but this was a great deal for the money and a great mic to get started with. If you're new in the filmmaker making, I bought this when I was doing more videography work with my camcorder, but it comes with a lot. And I don't think the quality was that bad. I think it was really good. If you listen to one of my earlier films, which I will put a clip up now.
I was terrified and I had to give a statement to an officer and I couldn't take my eyes off his gun. I looked from his eyes to his gun, to his eyes, to his gun, to his eyes, to his gun, and made...
That was shot with this in a studio, my home studio back in California. So again, I recommend this if it's still out there in the market and it's still a great deal like it was back then. Don't remember how much it costs, but I tend not to buy anything unless it's a good deal or on sale. This is what it looks like. It actually came with a dead cat and this sleeve. It's phantom power or not. You know, if you want to do phantom power, you push the button. The battery goes in here. This is a good mic. I'm serious. This is a really good mic. I might as well take it out and show you. That's where the battery goes. So again, if you're new into film industry or videography work, I would definitely recommend this mic, Vid Pro. That's what it's called. Next I did a little upgrade and I bought these Sony lavalier mics. Back then, 2008, 2010, somewhere around that time I purchased these because it was recommended to me by a guy who was in the business and he says, dude, these are really good mics, you need to get a pair. So I did. And they have and continue to serve me well.
We had the three-point contest. That was awesome. I'm not sure what kid won the three-point contest. We had the dunk contest. All of them won the contest.
It was kind of funny. You know, I wasn't as good as what my equipment showed, but yeah, I don't think they make these anymore. I'm pretty sure they don't. It's the UPX P2. Yeah. And B2, transmitter receiver, but just really well made. This is like one of Sony's best mics. So I'm happy I purchased those. Then, what happened next? I think the Rode mic came out. These little Rode 1s, they call them now, but it's basically the original Rode microphone. And state of the art because it was smaller than the Sony's. I mean, look, transmitter receiver just really small in a brick form. And you don't have to like be invasive with people. You can just say, here, clip this on, or you clip it on them or whatever. But it also, back then you could buy the lav mic to, you know, if you wanted to right up there, you didn't want this to show, you would just buy the lav mic, put it in there and put it on them. But you only could buy Rode lav mics back then because I've tried some of the mics I had with the Sony's and whatnot. Nah, didn't work at all. So I didn't buy them because they were pricey and I just wanted to test these out. I liked like I said, the small footprint. I didn't like and still don't like the fact that they put their name right up front. As you can see on the transmitter, I covered it up. So if I put it on people, what I would tend to do is put it on backwards like this.
Lots of 9 in my life and I was playing basketball always with number 9. So that's why I decided to put it here.
So it's just showing this part. But the problem with that is when people wore t-shirts, this is a heavy mic. Heavy by the standards of these type of lavs. And so if you put it this way, actually this way, it would tend to flop, and then it would get on their skin, and all of a sudden you're having good oil, and it's like it gets muffled. And you know, if you're a one-man band, you're not paying attention to what position this mic in. Hopefully you got the earphones on, and I did many times. I said, oh, sorry, man, I got to fix the mic. But if you didn't have your earphones in and this got on, you got a surprise when you got home.
It was just like a whole process before he tattooed me. He's like, bro, you sure you want to do this? It's forever, man. And I was like, yeah, right.
You know, you're so careful to put it on them the first time, and you get them in position, and then they move down, or they, you know, tie their shoe or something, and it just knocks it over. So again, like, because it's top weighted, it would bend like this forward if you had it this way, and would bend backwards if you had it with the clip facing out. So that was kind of a bummer that you always had to watch it. I wasn't too concerned about people seeing the mic, but I would try to hide it sometimes, like put it in here, but you gotta be careful, because if it's touching some fabric, it's gonna rustle, you know? And when I shot some theater during COVID, we mic'd the actors up, and I put 2 mics on, you know, for redundancy and safety. I put it on them, and I still had to be careful not to have it rustle with their clothes, you know. And it got to the point where, you know, I would do it the first few times in rehearsal, and then it would teach them how to do it, and they would put it on. But it was touch and go. I was always monitoring. Oh, sorry, it sounds bad. I had to stop, and then we start over again, which is frustrating, especially for theater actors. But that was a fun time too. If I have a clip, I would show it now.
Be behaving suboptimally, but when you throw around words like trauma and survive, you're asking people to belittle your cause.
Only if you're looking for ways to belittle your students, which I think makes you unfit to be a teacher.
This is preposterous. I'm teaching you. I'm trying to advise you about your use of language.
People don't teach through mockery.
Now you're undermining the entire British system of pedagogy.
After that, Hollyland came out with the first receiver and 2 transmitter, where when Rode came out, it was just 1 and 1. If you wanted to mic 2 people up, you had to buy 2 transmitters, 2 receivers. And Hollyland came out and said, no, we're gonna have 1 receiver and 2 transmitters. This is great. This is their first one. I still love it. The case powers them, as you probably know. You just put them in the case, it charges automatically. So, and they were lighter. So look at this compared to the Rhodes. And it was a big difference. I thought, okay, this is gonna be great, it's not gonna fall over. No, still fell over. It's not as top weighted, but it's still not balanced in a way where it's just gonna sit there. Now, Hollyland puts their name on it too, but it's not as intrusive. It's on the side. I didn't care as much, but still, I still turned it around. Great mics. 10 hours they lasted, if I remember correctly. And I used these actually in that theater broadcast too. And then the Rhodes were my backup, and then I had, you know, boom mics placed around the set. I put mics everywhere because I don't want to be the guy that messed up at this production. After that, I went a while before I got anything, and then I got what you're listening to now is the Rode NG5, I think it's called. It's an okay mic. I mean, I like how it's built. I like the shock mount that it comes with and the pistol grip and all that stuff. And it has a different feel than the VidPro and sound, but honestly, I can't tell a big difference. And maybe because my ears are old, you know, I'm an old guy, so my cilia's bent down, can't hear as much as I used to on those really finite sounds. So, I mean, it's a good mic. I like it. So recently, because these mics are getting smaller, I decided to buy this DJI mic because I think this is the one that comes with a magnet, so you don't have to worry about clipping and falling over. You put the magnet on the inside of the shirt and this on the outside, and you're good to go. I haven't even opened this yet. I bought it for that reason, but I also bought it because it's on sale. I don't buy it. If it's not on sale, I'm not gonna buy it. It's not worth it. I've got microphones. I'm not one to buy the latest and greatest. Then I got the small rig one, which is also small. And then just came in this Behringer thing. Let's look at the Behringer since it's open. Now, the reason I have why do you got so many mics? The reason is because, like I said, I'm opening up a studio and I want to have, if I decide to rent things out or if I have a production where I need to hide a lot of mics, I wanted these. So the Behringer looks just like the Rode almost. It's actually larger. No, it's just a little bit larger than the Rode. By George, that's exactly what it is. I think this is for when it goes on your phone. So it can be used on your phone. Yeah, it's got 3 rings. Or your camera. Yeah, these are just USB charging cords. So I was wrong. They don't come with lav mics. I was pretty psyched up there for a minute. So yeah, just backups. That's what I got these. They were like $60, $80, somewhere around there. I thought, okay, it's nice to have. So, and what's in this? This is the small rig. Okay, so here's the small rig, user's manual. Wow, this is even smaller than the Hollyland. Look how technology changes over a few years. Wow. So this is the case. And in case I'm incorrect, I don't want to break it. How would you open this? Oh, there it goes. Okay, so if I look at the number, the words, I would say, it would say small rig, so I would know that's up, right? And long. Wow, it's already got some juice. See, it's on already. First time I opened it. So, all right, so I was wrong about the magnet. This is just a little clip from the back, but it's still very small and it's not gonna fall over. I like that. This is probably gonna be my go-to mic when I'm doing field interviews. And the name Small Rig is on it, but you can't see it. Thank you, Small Rig. You've got, wow, it's tiny. That's very small. You've got a receiver, and then you've got this, which I'm assuming is for a telephone because it has a USB thingy. I'm gonna make a guess and say that's, I did buy it, but I bought it a long time ago, but I've been busy, so, wow, magnetically. So it's not gonna fall out. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's for a phone. And that strip just fell off, so this is gonna start charging. I like it. See, the lights came on. What about this guy? Okay, its light's not coming on. Maybe just one light comes, no, that would be illogical. Well, these two are charging. That one's not doing anything. I'll have to check it out, see what's up. Small rig. I like it so far. The DJI is also a lav mic. It's DJI Mic Mini is the name. Comes in a very nice carrying pouch. You'll see in a second. That's a nice pouch. Almost makes it worth it. I like the pouch. I'm serious. I was joking, but I do like it. Inside, wind protectors. Another case. So there's the DJI compared to the Hollyland, compared to the small rig. Okay. It says press to unlock, but there's some kind of protective tape on it, so let me take that off. Okay, press to unlock. Yeah. Charging case. See the lights? Lights came on when I opened it up. Pretty damn cool. So it also has a very small receiver. There's a small rig receiver and there's the DJI. Almost the same. But small rig's got them beat. So, small receiver, small, this is the one with the magnet I was telling you about. I like that. I like that. But it also has a clip if you don't want to use the magnet. Magnet goes on back of the clip. That's pretty brilliant. This is very small too. It's got his name on it. A little more intrusive than the small rig. It's got raised letters that will stand out, so people who are close will go, oh, DJI, you know, subliminal messages, but I don't think it'll read on camera. Well, you tell me. It also has a telephone adapter, much smaller than the small rig. Look at the difference. DJI small rig. So cool. I don't know. I'm kind of liking this DJI because of the magnet. So I will have to take them out and test them. Look, it has some contact points on the back of this. I'm not sure what that is for, why it's there. If it needs to go into the case in a particular way. Didn't pay attention when I took it out. I will have to read the instructions. But this is light. It's small and light. This is interesting. They have the volume knob on the receiver in just increments. That's kind of cool. There's no screen on it like with the Hollyland or the Rode. There's a readout screen there, so you're feeling and you're listening, which is cool. That's cool. Actually, it would be nice to you can look on your camera and see if it's spiking. You know, check your meters and all that kind of stuff. That would be kind of cool to have it on the machine, but I understand you had to sacrifice something to get this thing so small. So I'm down with that. All right. I like it. I think that's a tough one, man. I will try them both and see which one I like. Report back. But this magnet, the magnet, I like that. Again, you don't want to be too intrusive, and as I said, I like it. You know, you don't want to stick your hands up someone's shirt and put the magnet on, and you don't want to like, here, take this magnet and hold it there and da-da-da-da-da, because they might drop it, and then, you know, what if it's over on the seaside, you lose it and stuff like that. That would be a bummer. So there's pluses and minuses to having a magnet. If they're wearing a sports jacket or something, yeah, you can just do it. But if they're wearing a shirt or something that you have to be intrusive and then you're dependent upon them to do it, I don't think I'd use this. Just talk myself out of it for that kind of a thing. But if it's for people I know or actors and it's just a B mic or something like that, yeah, get your sound guy to do that. Yeah, that's it. Pretty much all I have. What about you guys? All right, so what mics you're using? Have you used any of these? You got to ask these questions, right? You got to be interactive with your guests. Does anyone still use the Rode 1 or the original Rode? What did they call these? I don't even remember. I still use these. I didn't upgrade to the 2 or the Pro or anything like that because these still work. It'd be nice to have them, but I'm not going to spend money on it. Just say, oh, I'm upgrading. I'm not that kind of guy. Just like I use what I have. And great, unless it's something that's so bad that you need a new piece of equipment. But if it's just a matter that technology changed and it'd be cool to have because it's a little bit less work, then no, I'm not into that. It's a waste of money. Waste of money and waste of resources, in my opinion. If you already have something, why are you going to buy something new? You're just spending money. You're just caught up in the rat race of buying stuff. Don't recommend it. I still use the Sonys. These are great go-to microphones. It's the situation, though. I'm not going to take time to run a wire up somebody and put these on, and they have to put it on there because it's kind of now, because it's what, 10, 15 years older, it's a little bit intrusive for them. If it's something like a sit-down interview, yeah, you could go with this. You know, you've got time, it's in your studio. But if it's on the street and you're saying, hey, can I interview you about, you know, the war and blah, 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 or whatever, this is what you want to go with. You take it out, you clip it on, they're impressed, you check your sound, and you do the interview. And then you take it back and you go home. So anyway, what have you used? What can you suggest that I could buy for the studio, especially boom mics? I need to get some more. Sennheiser, is that a good mic that people have been impressed with? I don't know, never used one. If you know, let me know, because I've been thinking about getting one of those for the studio. Or should I just get a set of the Rhodes? So that's it, my adventures in microphones. What are you using? Check you later.